I got to know Alex back in college. I have a special relationship with Alex because we're both in wheelchairs. He was just the type of kind soul that was involved for the specific reason of helping others. He basically would make shows happen wherever he could, as often as he could. I think he put on more shows than anyone else in town, just because he set up so many shows that I think that there's a lot of bands that they're not going to know where to go or who to contact. I think he passionately loved putting on shows. He was, really well known for helping people get their starts. His specialty was setting up the smaller shows where kids would network and really forming a large portion of our scene that we have here.
Our friend Alex Harrilla passed away. We're getting together tonight. We're just going to play some records of local bands and stuff that he would enjoy listening to. And he went from being a fan of loving to go see shows to making sure that there was shows for people to go to and see, and opening up the doors for a lot of young musicians so they could play their first gigs.
Alex had Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, a form of muscular dystrophy that affects the breathing centers. He would work on his computer. He could only move his thumb. You had to position it for him. He was total care other than moving that thumb. He would plan the shows during the night when he was online, and you'd never know when music was going to blare out of the computer. You'd be sitting there watching something on TV, and all of a sudden punk music would just pop out of the computer and scare the daylights out of you.
Alex just gave so much of himself despite all of his challenges. Never let his physical disabilities get in the way of anything he was doing. And he just gave so many local musicians opportunities to play. He was someone to look up to. There's not a lot of people that do that here in Erie. To have someone who's constantly putting on shows and making music happen, that's just invaluable because we don't have that. To some people, he was probably just that guy in a wheelchair at the show, but to others, he was much more than that. He was much more than that.
When all these musicians heard about his passing, the amount of outpour and admiration for the guy, you can tell everybody just had a huge amount of respect for the guy. It's going to be tough to replace the kind of work that he was doing.
High school kids who formed a band, he would give them a chance to play on a stage at one of his all-age venues. He just loved doing it. It was what kept him going. It was what kept him motivated.
When you get to play on stage in front of people and you're playing shows, you can act the way you actually feel. And I think that Alex provided that for me.